Hi, this is John Farmer with the Leading Edge Law Group in Richmond, Virginia. I thought I'd just take this opportunity to tell you a bit about the program we have coming up on September 23rd, 2011. That is the Virginia Information Technology Legal Institute. This program is presented by Virginia CLE. It is the 12th time we have presented this program, and we think we've got some great content this year, and I thought I'd tell you about it. We will have 7.5 hours of Virginia CLE credit available for the program, including, as usual, 2 hours of legal ethics. Here's what we have coming up this year. We will lead off the day with 2 ethics sessions. The first one will be called Ethics in an Internet World. That will be presented by Tom Spahn of McGuire Woods. Many of you have probably heard of him. And among the topics that Tom will be addressing is lawyers using social media such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, things of this nature, and the ethical implications and things to keep in mind when doing so. After that, we think what we have may be a unique hour. Chris Forstner of Murphy McGonigal in Richmond is going to be talking about the ethical aspects of e-discovery, and he's going to tune his talk towards intellectual property professionals and information technology professionals who are not full-time litigators. Many of you who work in those IP and IT areas may be working on matters where it's possible that a dispute will brew up in which discovery, including e-discovery, may be taken. And the purpose of this talk is to educate you on the things you need to keep your eye on and the things you need to be doing so you don't screw up the case for your client should the case head to litigation, or perhaps put yourself in jeopardy because of how you've handled the preservation of documents, including electronic documents, in leading up to what may become litigation, even if you won't be handling that litigation. The other session we have that will be outside of our usual is that for our feature panel this year, and this will be an hour-and-a-half panel, we will be looking at negotiating important issues in cloud computing. Speaking on that will be H. Ward Clausen, who is the Deputy General Counsel of Computer Sciences Corporation, and his co-panelist will be Philip D. Porter, who is with Hogan Lovells in McLean, Virginia. These are 2 old pros in the cloud computing area, one on the vendor side, one on the vendee side, and they will be discussing issues that they confront in negotiating cloud computing agreements and even do some mock negotiation of those terms. And so if any of your clients may be thinking of venturing into utilizing cloud computing, this will hopefully enable you to help represent their interests or at least understand the issues. In addition to that, we have our usual 4 update sessions on 4 areas of the law that we cover every year. Technology law that will be covered by Jay Westermeyer. I'll be covering trademark and domain name law as usual. Toby Marsuk, as usual, will be addressing copyright law, and Brad Wright of Banner and Witkoff will be addressing patent law. And as always, our purpose in these sessions is just to bring you up to date on the most important developments that have occurred during the past year in these areas so that you'll be up to speed. During Jay's talk, I won't read off all of the topics that people are going to address, but among those will be the AT&T mobility ruling regarding arbitration clauses in the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act and the Communications Decency Act. When we get down to the trademark and domain name development session, which will be mine, I'll be covering 3 recent developments at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office on the trademark side that may impact your practice, such as the possibility that some trademark registrations may be audited to determine if they contain any goods or services claims that shouldn't have been in there. I'll also be looking at things such as the continuing development in search engine advertising law, such as the use of Google AdWords, and also the developing law on when you can get an injunction in a trademark infringement case, and I'll be looking at the new top-level domain names that should be rolling out in 2013 probably, with the initial launch of them in 2012. Toby Marzuk, when he has his copyright session, will be covering several topics, and in those, among the topics he will be addressing are whether the removal of copyright information from anything is a violation of the DMCA. He'll be looking at some possible recent limitations on the amount of damages you can recover in copyright infringement cases from joint and several infringers, and he will be looking at possible constitutional limitations that are formulating in the courts on statutory damages, and whether you have a good shot of being able to sue someone in your home court for web-based copyright infringement. And then batting cleanup this year, as usual, will be Brad Wright of Banner and Witkoff. And because of all of the Supreme Court and Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit action, he'll have a jam-packed program. I won't cover everything. He'll look at the status of the patent reform legislation that's in Congress. Possibly we'll have a new law by then. He'll be looking at things such as liability for inducement infringement, looking at the standard for showing patent invalidity in infringement litigation, at the ownership of government-funded inventions, and in several other topics. Our live program will be at the Waterford, an all-day event. That's at Fair Oaks Mall on Friday, September the 23rd. I think we kick off at 8 o'clock that morning. We provide lunch. And not only that, but each of our speakers will be sitting at a separate table during lunch in case you want to sit down and ask more specific questions of one of the speakers. If you can't make it that day, there are also video replays of the program scheduled for various locations around Virginia. You can find more about them and more about the seminar generally on the website of Virginia CLE. If you just go to vacle.org and look under their intellectual property program, you'll find all the information you need regarding this program. Thanks for listening in, and we hope to see you at the Waterford in Northern Virginia on September the 23rd.